Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0522 indicates a problem with the engine oil pressure sensor circuit in the Honda Civic models from 2022 onwards. This diagnostic trouble code means that the output voltage from the engine oil pressure sensor is lower than a predefined acceptable threshold. This situation typically prompts the powertrain control module (PCM) to store this DTC. The engine oil pressure sensor itself is critical for monitoring the oil pressure, ensuring that the engine operates efficiently and effectively. If the sensor is malfunctioning, or if there are issues in its circuit, it can lead to improper engine lubrication, causing significant engine damage. This document outlines a thorough troubleshooting process for this issue, starting with inspection and testing of the sensor and moving towards the PCM if needed. DTC P0522 arises when the engine oil pressure sensor reports a low voltage to the powertrain control module, PCM. The engine oil pressure sensor is designed to measure the oil pressure within the engine, sending a voltage signal back to the PCM. If the voltage signal falls below the specified threshold, the PCM interprets this as an error and logs the DTC. The PCM relies on accurate signals from this sensor to manage engine performance and lubrication effectively. This sensor is typically located near the engine oil filter, allowing it to accurately assess the oil pressure. The failure of this sensor to provide the correct voltage can cause inappropriate engine behavior, which may lead to performance issues. Several underlying causes could lead to the DTC P0522 code. First, a faulty engine oil pressure sensor might be the primary culprit. Over time, wear and tear can affect the sensor's ability to produce the correct voltage. Second, issues in the external circuit that connects the engine oil pressure sensor to the PCM can also be responsible. This could include damaged wires or poor connections that fail to transmit accurate signals. Finally, if both the sensor and the circuit are functioning correctly, the problem may lie with the powertrain control module itself, which could require further diagnostics or replacement. The symptoms associated with DTC P0522 can vary, but often begin with the illumination of the check engine light on the vehicle's dashboard. This warning signals to the driver that there may be an issue in the engine or its related systems. Additionally, the vehicle may experience engine performance issues, which could include reduced power, unusual noises, or a rough idle. Drivers may also notice an oil pressure warning on the instrument panel, indicating that there may be insufficient oil pressure for safe engine operation. If these symptoms are observed, they warrant immediate attention to avoid potential engine damage. The first step in troubleshooting the DTC P0522 is to turn the vehicle ignition to the on mode without starting the engine. This allows diagnostic tools, such as the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to effectively read the sensor data. Observing the HDS readings, specifically for the rocker arm oil pressure sensor voltage, is crucial. If the readings show values less than 0.18 volts, it confirms that a failure has been duplicated, indicating a problem with the sensor or its associated circuitry. Proper usage of the HDS tool ensures that the technician can gather accurate data to inform further diagnostics. This step is vital for establishing a baseline of the sensor's operational status before proceeding with more intrusive inspections. For the next troubleshooting step, begin by disconnecting the engine oil pressure sensor's 3-pin 3P connector. This allows for a more thorough inspection of the sensor's output voltage without any interference. Once the connector is disconnected, turn the vehicle to the IG mode. Under normal operating conditions, the output voltage from the sensor should be approximately 5.0 volts when checked at this stage. If the voltage reading meets this standard, it indicates that the sensor is functioning correctly, and the issue may lie elsewhere. Conversely, if the voltage is below this threshold, it typically indicates a fault within the engine oil pressure sensor, which would need to be replaced. In this step, the technician should disconnect the PCM connector E, specifically the 80P pin. After disconnecting the PCM, an inspection should be performed on the VCC2 wire and the opsin wire. The normal impedance for the VCC2 open wire inspection should be less than 1 ohm. This indicates a good continuous connection in the wiring harness. If the resistance is greater than this, it points to an open circuit condition that requires further investigation. Additionally, the opsin inspection must verify that it is not shorted to the ground. A short circuit to ground would cause incorrect readings and potentially trigger the DTC. Any abnormalities identified during these inspections could indicate a fault within the circuit. Following the inspection of the various components and circuits, the next step involves evaluating the results of the previous tests. If both the engine oil pressure sensor and the external wiring have been confirmed as functioning correctly, the next logical step is to consider the PCM as the potential root cause of the issue. It's important to understand that while the PCM is designed to be a robust component of the vehicle's architecture, failures can and do occur. If the PCM is found to be malfunctioning or not processing the inputs from the engine oil pressure sensor accurately, it may need to be replaced. This final step necessitates confirmation that all other components are functioning as expected to avoid unnecessary PCM replacements. After completing the necessary repairs following the diagnostic process, it's essential to perform a final repair verification. Begin by using the HDS or a similar diagnostic tool to clear the DTC from the system memory. Subsequent to clearing the code, a test drive of the vehicle should be conducted. This trial run allows the technician to observe whether the check engine light re-illuminates, which would signal that the issue may still be unresolved. During this test drive, it's also important to monitor the engine's performance for any irregularities. Successful failure-free operation confirms that the issue has been rectified and that the engine oil pressure sensor circuit is now functioning as intended. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P0522, regular preventive maintenance of the engine is vital. One of the most important practices is adhering to a consistent oil change schedule, as used oil can lead to sensor degradation and improper readings. Additionally, routinely checking the engine oil levels ensures that the oil pressure remains within an acceptable range. This practice also assists in identifying leaks or deterioration in performance early. Furthermore, performing periodic inspections of the oil pressure sensor can help catch any signs of wear before they lead to malfunction. By incorporating these strategies into a regular maintenance routine, vehicle owners can significantly reduce the risk of sensor issues and ensure smooth engine performance. In conclusion, understanding the role of the engine oil pressure sensor is crucial for maintaining engine performance in Honda Civics from 2022 onwards. The DTC P0522 indicates a specific failure in the sensor's voltage output or its circuit, leading to potentially serious engine issues if not addressed. Following a structured diagnostic approach allows technicians to pinpoint the issue accurately, whether it's the sensor, wiring, or the PCM itself. Lastly, implementing preventive measures like regular oil changes and sensor inspections can greatly enhance vehicle reliability. By adhering to these guidelines, vehicle owners can ensure optimal performance and longevity of their cars. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.